Thank you, everybody, for attending today's NACTA webinar. Today, our special guest is Vicki Garcia, who is the Chief Operator and co-owner of Travel Planners. They have been a longtime supporter of NACTA, and we are very happy to have Vicki here today. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before I put myself on mute and turn the reins over to her. This is being recorded and will be posted on the NACTA YouTube site within the next 24 hours. I will be sending you a link to this webinar if you would like to be able to listen to it again at a future time. Everybody is on mute, and that way there is no background noise. I also want to introduce myself. My name is Lorene Romero. I am the NACTA moderator, and always seems to be the thing that I forget to mention to everybody. If you have any questions for Vicki at the very end, we will have a Q&A session. Please feel free to put any questions in the drop-down box that says questions, and I will read it at the end for you. If you have any questions for me directly, put it in the chat box. If you're having a little issues around sound, or if there's something you need me to address privately, I will answer that through the chat box. So for now, Vicki, I am going to turn the reins over to you. Again, thank you again for being one of our NACTA suppliers, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Here you go, Vicki.
Thank you so much, Lorene. And let me just clarify, we are with Cruise Planners, an American Express Travel Services representative. And with me today, I have Angela DiDomenico, who is our manager of CP Vacations and Groups. And together in the next half hour or so, we just wanted to share some insight about group business. We firmly believe that groups is going to be the key to a profitable future in the travel industry. It's the way to grow your business. Obviously, with more so than onesies and twosies is getting groups together, and they could be a lot of fun. And they could give you some gray hairs, but they could be a lot of fun. So a little bit about me before I get started is I've been with Cruise Planners now going on 14 years. I'm one of the co-owners of the company, but my previous background, I come from working for the cruise lines and running group departments, so kind of seen a little bit of every kind of group out there. And Angela's going to talk to you because she's been a Cruise Planner travel advisor, owning her own franchise and leading her own groups and finding groups and figuring out a way to make them financially cost effective, because you could easily lose money with groups too. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that stuff. So some of the things that we kind of got together, and I'm going to turn this over to Angela in a second, is how do you find them? We get that question all the time, like, okay, you talk about groups, but where do I find groups? They're everywhere. They're all around you. No matter where you sit down in a movie theater or at a coffee shop, there's going to be someone who has some affiliation to some type of group. Like most of you that are on this call, you belong to this group. So people like to belong to things. So local libraries, check out what seminars they're holding. Are they there doing a seminar on a certain author or certain types of art? Looking at your homeowners association and seeing what they're doing, and are they getting together? I know those can be fun meetings when you watch all of your HOA people fighting about when the fence is going to be built and when the pools are going to be whatever. But there's also good opportunities there to get people together. Your churches, synagogues, gyms, and chambers. Look at networking. We found that in our network, we have over 1,500 Cruise Planner franchise owners. The #1 best practice for them growing their business, those that are growing at good speed, is they are networking. At least once a week, they have joined a group of some sort and going to a meeting. And that's something that everyone can do. Farmers markets, that's a great one, Angela, is where they can advertise their services at a farmer's market or at a craft fair. I mean, look at where people are getting together and there's an opportunity for a table. Look at companies. This is a great one. Everyone wants to initially start off their business and go, I'm going to get a full ship charter. Don't aim for those. Those are a lot of work and you could lose your tail on that one. But aim for those companies that have smaller employee bases where they don't have a travel department and they need your services. And obviously look at your friends and relatives and those that you want to have around you, and invite them to come sail away with you. So book a group for yourself and invite friends, relatives, past customers, etc. I'll turn it over to Angela here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angela DiDomenico, and yes, I have been in the travel industry for over 25 years. I've seen it come almost, from the very beginning when we used to handwrite airline tickets, which I'm sure some of you might out there also have been involved with that. So we've known the cruise industry and how to build groups, whether it's going to be by air, land, or cruise. But, you know, if some of us out there, if you're doing it, if I know I started it when it was, you know, it was a part-time job at the beginning. And the biggest thing that you could probably do is make sure that you stay in touch with those people that you've known for all these years. They know and care about who you are, and they trust and believe in who what you say and what you do. Be visible in your community. Do business with people that you know. Don't worry about what's going on in the town next to you, or that there's, you know, 50 travel agents between here and, you know, 50 miles away from you. Touch those people that are in your community. I don't care if you want to go and go in and get your car fixed. Make sure that you ask them if you could leave your business card or talk to people that are there. There's so many places that you probably go to on a regular basis that you just don't, you run in and run out, where in a way you can probably spend some time and really do your own due diligence. Get a booth at your church or synagogue, farmers markets, community and sporting events. You know, there's a lot of times where there's local stuff going on, and if you are a volunteer at maybe your local park, you know, they're always having baseball games, basketball games, and whatever. And if you're going to work on the concession stand, you have active participation right there. I'm sure that they would let you put a table up and kind of offer yourself and your services. Organize a lunch and learn. You know, you can go to some of your social directors or clubs that you belong to, reach out to your sales managers or whatever, and see if you can hold a lunch and learn. You don't want to necessarily always sell to people, but you want to be able to give them core information. That's what makes you a credible person. Even if you're going to go ahead and post on Facebook, please go into those travel weeklies and online newsletters that you get and post really good educational pieces about travel. People will think of your credibility before they even start to even think about having to buy from you. Small business card magnets all over your car. You go shopping, you go here, you go there. That's a great way for you to advertise at a very small margin. And, you know, bring some flyers with you and put them up in the back of your car and say, take one.
And especially if you're going to Little League games and staying for a while in your car's parked, we've had so many agents have success with this, where people are picking up their cards and flyers, et cetera.
You know, and also you've got to think about what's coming around. You know, Halloween is coming up pretty quickly, and a lot of times I've, you know, given out little candy bags with my business card in it, or have a table of drinks and stuff when the parents come by, and they could pick up a flyer and pick up a brochure or whatever, because if I have to get Dr. So-and-so's toothbrush and toothpaste, they sure can get my business card.
And one of the things you just mentioned there, Angela, is when you're looking at business cards, you guys aren't in the corporate business. You don't have to have, aesthetic white like an insurance agent might or whatever. Is make sure you're designing appealing business cards that pretty much say what you do, especially for kids, so they see a ship or they see a vacation or whatever, and say, even if you have different versions of cards, say that you specialize in group travel. Because people want to travel with other people like themselves.
And if you can, even mention that you're a Disney specialist and, you like that, if you're going to hand it out to the kids and go to the schools and offer your services for career day, it's also another big thing to get involved with those kids, because we do know that those kids are the ones that make those decisions.
So, Angela, I'll let you do this, and thank you for not offending our audience today by keeping it super simple.
Yes. And watching what I do. We're going to talk about a little bit, keeping it super simple. We researched for the 3 whys: why, where, and when. This is all going to be about thinking about what you want to put together when it comes to group business. What's the key subject that's going to bring people to you? When you use Facebook and Twitter, you're going to ask questions, but don't relinquish your ideas about too much. You just want to hear what everybody else has to say. Has anybody ever done I don't know, like any type of a little model type, I don't know, just groups of stuff that people are into, whether they're going to be into sewing or whatever. Just ask questions. Don't say, I'm putting together this sewing cruise, because I can guarantee you somebody else is going to pick right up on that and go on. Where's your destination and what ships do you want to offer? Well, if you're going to think about what your group is going to entail, you'll know whether or not you need to use a ship with a couple of separate private areas to be able to put on what it is that you're going to do. Your destination is key. When will it take place and how much time do you need? You know, for some reason, it's always great to be able to offer a cruise and have it sail during the same year than it is for you to advertise now when we're getting September into December of 2017. The consumer is just not going to bite on that. So make sure that you watch your time and give yourself enough time, 9 to 18 months to build something pretty decent.
And look to see what kind of value add offers, if they're looking at cruise, what they're offering. We've had agents do quite well when they've bundled things up, like when Celebrity did the 1, 2, 3, Go. They've bundled in the beverage package and promoted it that way. So when you look at a group, look at what has broad appeal.
Steps to follow and starting now. This is the same thing I would say. 18 to 12 months out, what's your event going to be like? What's your group going to be? What ship are you going to use, and what destination are you going to pull? The 12 to 9 months out, you're going to develop your group program. So say you have a bunch of ladies that are very much into history. You know, maybe you want to find an author or find someone who talks about, presenters talk about history and all that. So you need to have the time to put all that together. Submit all your requests for space to the ship. You never know what they're going to come back and say. Please always let the cruise lines know what kind of group you're dealing with, because you don't want to offend anybody if you have something really funky thing going on. You don't want to have to be out there and bringing that on if there's some kind of conflict going on board the ship. You'll have a big riot.
So, Angela, when you talk about develop your group program, is how creative are you going to be? Are you going to have meetings on board or meet and greets or autograph sessions, depending on the type of group it is? And I'll give you a statistic from CLIA. A group will stay with its existing travel agent an average of 3 years and then change travel agents. And that the number one response to that is agents didn't spend enough time developing or enhancing the group program. So if you have a repeat group, because there's often a high rate of repeat groups, they want to travel again together. But if you're always offering them the same pink T-shirt and the same autograph book, they're not going to come back for more. They're going to go to somebody else who got more creative and did something exciting with the group. So if this year the group's doing Caribbean 7-night and you're doing an autograph session, that same group may love history. Let's find a different author and let's do different type of events on a better itinerary. Don't just think you've ordered 5,000 T-shirts, let me use them every year.
9 to 6 months prior, you're going to finalize your details for your space requirements. That means that you're going to definitely get back to the cruise line, the events person, and make sure that they have everything that you need, and that's when you're going to go back down through your agenda, because by this time now you know exactly how many people you have. If you really were producing it very strongly, you thought you were going to wind up with 50, and now you wound up with 100 cabins. You need to make sure that the space that they allowed for you can cover that, because I can guarantee you there is the fire marshal on board that's counting every single head that's going to come into that room. And if that room only carries 50 people, they're shutting you down at 51.
And one big tip here is making sure that when you set your final payment date, that you back it up a little bit to give you time to process those, because a group is more than just one person calling you with one payment. So you got to make sure you've put we call them soft dates in our software, that in every correspondence the clients get, it tells you the final payment date is, let's say, 2 weeks prior or 3 weeks prior, to give you time to process. There you go, Miss Angela.
Okay, what is Cruise Planners Group's secret sauce? We have the most incredible software, and this has really helped our agents, helped me way back when. It's a #1 group booking tool which collects all the client data. One button transfers it into our CRM, which makes life so much simpler because it collects everything that we don't have to on a manual basis.
So it's a registration tool for your groups, designed specifically for each group.
Clients enter the details, so we don't have to, and oh, that is just such a cool thing.
And when Bill enters his name Bill versus William, and it was spelled wrong, even though it says please put enter your legal name here, the onus is on them, because you flat out said they had entered their correct number, their correct name.
And this is basically what it looks like, just to kind of give you an idea. All the information that you enter there, the group number, you can give it a password if you have a wedding group or something that you don't want anybody else to book into. You've got an opportunity to build up some pictures and things that are going to be on there. If your page is going to have a separate web directions. You can put it in there as the alias website. The opening registration date, closing date, final payment date, all the details that are there. If you don't want anybody to register that's under 21, dining time, all this information is there for them to fill out and be active with it. And then this way you can, once this is filled out, this is going to come to you as an email.
And the great thing about this software is that it creates a URL that then you can share and cross-promote with it. So let's say this group is the Italian American Club group and they're getting together, you can create a link that goes, that you can share with them and they can put on their website, their Facebook page, etc., and it cross-promotes your group.
And this is all the rest of the details. You go in and put in each category that you're holding within the group, all the disclaimer text, what you'll be doing once you get that information. Sometimes we'll just go ahead and say, once you fill out this registration form, this is your authorization to us to go ahead and charge your credit card, deposits, you know, all the details that you want to put in there. It gives you a chance to enter your fare, your NCFs, your government fees, any gratuities, and any additional charges for those extra T-shirts or the speaker or whatever it is. And if you're going to mark up the group to be able to offer a pre or post or any type of cocktail party or any pre-hotel that might have a authorization to do before the cruise starts. So everything that you possibly need is right here at your fingertips, which makes everything so much easier because now the guests know everything ahead of them, what they're entitled to, what they can pick, and there's also an area for comments from them.
So Angela, this is where you as the administrator are creating the group, this unique group for this client that you're pitching, and so you pick the ship and the categories, you build it from here, and it creates a really dynamic, and we'll show you in a minute, piece. So this isn't for the client to see this part of it. This is the behind the house for you to build the actual RegisWeb link that's unique to that group.
So when you even pick out your categories and you put in the number of cabins that you have people sign up for a D1 or an E3 or whatever, it's going to come off that inventory. So when that inventory is done, there's nothing you have to deal with. People just can't book that and they'll go to the next category.
And if you add more, you can just add more.
Add more and then all that. And then it puts this information, once you fill out the RegisWeb, it puts the information out on your page, you make it active, all the details are there. And again, like I said, you can build it with pictures and all kinds of fun stuff.
So some of the things we teach people best practices, if it's a family reunion and this is their second time, ask for pictures from last year's trip so you can post those there. People love to see pictures. So this is on, for example, would be your website, a client's website, I mean an agent's website, and you can see all about that harmony and see it's specific to that group, about the group, the client information, or register. So here you can see where it says the register now button. Let's say I like that interior. Well, actually, no, that's never going to happen. I'm definitely going for the superior balcony at least. Please click on register now, and then it asks me to gather my information. So it'll gather my information as the client. I'd go on and say my legal name is Vicki Garcia, blah, 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 date of birth and all that stuff. And so it's a great way to, again, as Angela mentioned, everything gets dumped into your CRM. So that's all. Now an invoice gets created within seconds.
Yeah, most definitely. This is another one of our group tools that we use for, and offer it out to anybody who's doing any type of entertainment type groups. It helps you keep track of your expenses, and then at the bottom it has 3 other sheets that shows your income and your profit and loss. So it helps you really keep your eye on the bottom line to make sure that you're not going above and beyond your expenses, making sure that you stay within those lines. Well, now we're talking about a totally different thing. This is my baby. Our group enhanced tools, we have a fantastic department, if I don't say so myself. We call completely packaged vacations, our CP vacations. We are an enhancement to your immediate group sales. What we wind up doing is we have a variety of itineraries are chosen and bundled with unique components. We'll take a cruise, we'll add on a pre or post hotel, sometimes we have air, excursions, things like that that make it very easy for you to supply your group with without having to have the headaches. When clients can't really comparison shop against this, which is great because we can't really break down the prices, but we have exclusivity and it's always great for our agents to win the sale.
Yep, because we all know if you win a client by price, you will lose that client by price at some point, if that's their only motivator.
Absolutely.
Here's some sample packages.
Yeah, these were some sample packages, and the changes constantly. We monitor the pricing of the cruise, make sure that we have the right hotels, the transfers, and sometimes we, and a lot of these things are combinable with, this is Norwegian, so it's combinable with their freestyle choice promotion. So the client gets everything that they need to. You don't have to do much of anything because all of the pre-arranging has already been done.
And you've already taken out that barrier, that problem of someone flying in the same day of the cruise and potentially missing the ship because of delays or whatever. We're putting it out there in the marketplace as a package already, so the client doesn't even think of that. Oh, this is a 9-night. That's a great value. That's great. It includes all this stuff.
Yep.
It's kind of like when you buy tickets to a concert and you get that VIP package experience or whatever. It just comes with more value and it enhances your overall experience.
Absolutely. And we just keep going, just picking up little things as we go along. Every time we'll see some kind of a special event. It just helps us to be able to help the agents. Sometimes even our agents don't really know what they want to promote until they see it. And a lot of times your clients will want to buy anything that you offer to them that's different. So don't always worry about when they come to you and, your online giants are doing one thing. Always make sure that you pre-look and see what's out there first, and you never know what they're going to want to bite into.
That's a good one.
Love that Kool-aid guy. Get them while they're hot. Well, viewing social media posts, pictures from your guests while they're drinking the Kool-aid. Deposit for future cruises on board. That's a big, big thing that you should always talk about. If you're going to sail with your group, the first thing you should do is go to the cruise agent on board and ask them if they would participate in one of your events before the people get off the ship. And, your $100 deposit is going to get them an onboard credit and get them sold into your next group. We always plan our next group function before we even sail for this year. So, when they're happy and going, that's when you definitely want to do it. And you can give them an incentive also,
If they deposit while they're on the ship, give them something extra.
Yeah, give them a kiss.
There you go.
And we have the most incredible marketing team, so all of our flyers print on demand, which means that they're going to go ahead and make them up for all the things that we want to give them. And then we have the ability to have them printed through our CP pod or department.
So this is one of my kind of pet peeves and something that I learned from our successful agents, again, best practices, is the minute you book a group, even though you may have 3 or 4 people in mind already, whatever, is create a flyer that backs that group up, that has the information about the group, the who, what, when, where, and why about the group, how do they register, et cetera, and have that ready. I think the biggest thing, if you ever talk to a group department at a cruise line, is how many groups actually cancel with no activity at all. Because you booked the group, you're all excited, but then you never had a chance to do anything with it, and all of a sudden your time expires. So the minute you book it, you should start running your plan, create a flyer. When someone books one cabin into it, send them 3 flyers with their invoice and say, hey, tell your friends what you're going on. That is the best practice that amongst our biggest group producers is kind of one of those little, you go, oh, I should have known that.
And a lot of times I'll even give them a gift card if they can bring on 2 more people.
There you go. Referrals. So in true to trying to stick to the time of 30 minutes, Lorena, I just wanted to see if you had any questions coming up on the webinar.
They weren't questions. Mostly people were saying that they really like your best practices comments. So if you have any more of those, I think that's what people are drinking in from your Kool-Aid message. Love that. But that's what people are commenting on. Oh, really like the one about the flyers, and also love the one about the photo from the last family get-together. Do you have any more that you could throw out there?
We can be here all afternoon with my mouth.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, really. Now, social media to me is a huge factor. That's why we've invested so much in it for our agents. We actually help them supplement their posts throughout the week because it is a big job, and most people that work from home are working by themselves and for themselves. So I would say, especially as you travel, make sure to post photos, whether it's a nice restaurant or a review about a restaurant. Obviously, post the positive stuff. Even though, yes, we want to hear the real stuff, If you're always posting what you hate about stuff, I think you're going to become right and perceived negative. There's a great new feature called Facebook Live that I used in July when I went on the Region Explorer, and it was awesome. Everyone that I came back to was like, oh my God, I felt like I was there on the ship with you, because I was literally walking up on deck and showing different features of the ship. So social media to me would be your biggest home run. And when you're looking at it in terms of groups, is make sure you are building maybe Facebook groups for your specific groups that you know are large. Let's say you already have a family reunion that already has a few cabins or whatever, and they want to get 100 people to go on this family reunion. Make sure you build a group for them or encourage them to build it, and you have access to it, and post things like, hey, don't forget, documents will be out in 2 weeks, and we're going to all get together at Sally's house to give them out, or whatever. It's just a good way to keep engagement. You look, big brands like Expedia and Travelocity, all the online players, Costco, they can't build that. But if you are a home-based travel advisor, you've got the grassroots, you've got the relationships, and take advantage of those. Because when your client can put a face to that name, it's not just Travelocity answering the phone, that's your win. That's when they go, oh, and I saw your pictures. You went to Alaska. We really want to do that next year on the family reunion, because you're posting photos of yourself. So I could go on forever, and I'm sure Angela can as well, but we got to get back to selling some products.
There you go. The question that came up is, how do you get started with cruise planners?
That's a great question. So we will follow up with an email after this, but in the meantime, if you want to go to cruiseplannersfranchise.com, so it's cruiseplanners, plural, franchise.com, and check out some information. But I know Dan and his team will be sending something out if you guys want to check out one of our webinars to learn more about the opportunities, and especially if you're an experienced agent and have a book of business, it's really appealing. But we're here, the model is here to help you succeed. We're a national brand, we're part of American Express, and we've got our entire home office, which is at 100 people right now, pinch me, is there 100% to help you succeed. If our agents aren't selling travel, we're not successful. So we're not competing, we don't sell travel from here, we don't sell makeup or toilet paper from here either. We're not a card mill. We are truly 100% in the travel business to make our franchise owners successful entrepreneurs in the travel industry.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, those are all the questions that had come up. And if we're going to be wrapping up, I'd also like to mention that NACTA is going to have our national conference. I am so sorry that you're not going to be able to attend this year, but I want to be able to let everybody know that it will be in Fort Lauderdale in November. So please go to the NACTA website to register if you have not already. But I was also throwing out a little bit of a teaser for everybody that the 2017 NACTA conference is going to be happening in Anchorage, Alaska, September 13th through 16th of 2017. It's right after the busy season for cruising, so all the agents should be able to have a little bit of free time to be able to come out and check out Alaska at the national conference. So,
that sounds incredible.
It's, and it's perfect because, your Cruise Planners members, guess what? They're sending everybody to Alaska. They may as well go see what it's like also, right?
Absolutely.
And it gives everybody time to be able to get it on their calendar. So any last comments from you two? This has been wonderful. Again, people are loving the best practices and the ideas, and also with Cruise Planners, your booking engine that you have to be able to put everything together, because that is the challenge of groups, is how to keep the material all organized, and like you said, so that you can keep on budget.
Exactly, because that could be one of the things that could go wrong with a group, is obviously the budget part of it. But so just so you know, as an organization, we're a big training organization, so we have a whole series of online webinars and online courses on groups and how to avoid group disasters and how to charter a ship, and a whole series of it throughout our entire online university, Cruise Planners University. So we teach all of the classes. We're subject matter experts. As I mentioned, I worked for the cruise lines. I worked for Royal Caribbean Celebrity and Norwegian years ago. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. Michelle Fee, the founder and co-partner, has been doing it a little bit over 30 years. So we've done the work, and we share our experiences. And everybody who works at our corporate office comes from the travel industry of some sort, way, shape, or another. So we're bringing the expertise to our agents to help them build their business.
So come on board.
Do you also have training, national trainings for people where everybody gets together so you can have face-to-face with staff and other franchise members?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that. So we do an annual big convention in November, which this year is going to be in Miami, and then on the Harmony of the Seas in Fort Lauderdale. And then throughout the year, we do about 6 to 8 regional boot camps. So throughout the country, we do a road show, which, again, myself and Michelle Fee and part of our management team will be at each one of them. And we do 2 days hands-on computer and social media and sales skills, et cetera, training. We bring some partners on board. Plus, we do training in Fort Lauderdale 6 times a year for new franchisees or anyone who wants to come back for a refresher. So we're always out and about and making sure that our agents, again, have the tools at their disposal and the right training to use them and to get out and market themselves.
And everybody here at the home office is available for anyone picking up the phone and needing some assistance, whether if they're going to go through their coaching staff or they come straight to the department. We are here to make sure that each agent has everything that they need to grow their group business and any business, any questions that they may have.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, ladies, and thank you to all the attendees on the call. As I mentioned, this is being recorded. I will send the link out, and we will also provide some information for you regarding how to get in touch with them if you would like to be able to get more information. So thank you both. You did a great job, and again, we appreciate the fact that you are NACTA suppliers. And also, for people who are looking to get a little bit more information, we have Vicki penciled in. Life happens sometimes, but we have her penciled in to do another webinar for January 10th. So please put that on your calendars. We will send out notice. She's a great presenter, and you may want to be able to listen to her again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Vicki. Have a good rest of your week.
Thank you. You have a good day. Bye-bye.